What's going on YouTube? It's Brahma Gandhi, back with some more Choices That Matter, and the sun went out. And when we last left off, we got Wong to the hospital, and we found out that we gotta go into Tokyo, Japan to find out Soul's murderer. But that's the thing though, is I got Sharon into this mess, and I would feel bad if I didn't go to help her out, okay? So hopefully we can finish up here quickly so that I can get to Japan and help out Etienne there. And he got angry at me. He was mad. But right now, we've realized that even though she went back home, she was still being followed by Jonathan, the dude who leads the 100th day. And we're gonna run facial recognition just to make sure that it is him. So Modi says, "Yes, teacher. I will let you know when I have the results." Damn, you ain't gonna have them instantly? Mother. If he's got my girl, we'll have to find him, Sharon prodded, rinsing her cup in the sink. One step at a time, I nodded, giving her my own mug when she reached for it. We don't know where he is, let alone how to find him. We could start with Chrissy. Start how? She threw her hands up, frustrated. I said, throw your hands up. She moved out of home as soon as she was an adult, I murmured, automatically switching to my usual routine when searching for someone. Oh, good. What place would she go? I asked. Where would she hang out or feel safe? If you're right and she slipped him, then she'll be somewhere she knows. What about him? Sharon groaned, the anger rising in her voice. Chrissy is the important one. Focus on her. Do you have a lead on him? Do you have a lead? Sharon ground her teeth but said nothing more. I sighed, letting go of the subject. Okay, she doesn't have a lead on him, so Chrissy is #1 priority right now. Chrissy is #1 priority. First, we're no use to anyone dead on our feet. I'm tired and so are you. We both need at least 5 hours of sleep. Sharon, in the act of pulling away the mug, slammed them down in anger. Oh my... I need to shut my fucking mouth. She gonna kill me again. Or at least she's gonna hit me again. This is abuse. My daughter was kidnapped because I was helping you, and you want to take a bloody nap? Alright, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't want to pass out. I raised my hands to try and calm her, but she stomped out of the room, slamming the door to the master bedroom. So does that mean you're going for a nap, or... I sighed. That did not go well. Thank you, Captain Obvious. No, it didn't, Modi. You have a message from Miss Montague. Oh no, she gonna be like, you better get your ass back to Flying Falls and find out what you can. You better go to Tokyo right now, my boy, or I'm gonna beat your ass. She's requesting that you call her teacher. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Man, ever since I met Sharon, everything has just gone like to worrying about them than what the company wants me to worry about. Alright, we better give her a call in a second. Message her back and let her know that I'm available. Okay, just I walked into the boys' bedroom and took off my shoes, looking forward to sleep. While I removed my belt, my phone rang. I see you. Delores, you better not be watching me take my pants off. It's Miss Montague, teacher. Of course it was. She couldn't wait. I picked up my phone and answered it, expecting Delores to berate me for taking so long to return her call. How's Australia? She asked pleasantly. Oh no. Oh no. No, it's that fake pleasantry where it's like, how's Australia? Oh, so you didn't think to just like think about the company, huh? It's gonna be one of those things. I narrowed my eyes and straightened from where I was tightening my shoes. What do you want? I asked, knowing better than to go along with it. Yes, 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 yes. It's that fake. It's the fake thing. Excuse me, she asked, playing innocent. Don't you please? I know you. I know how you work. Okay, don't you try me. You try me. Try me. Try me now, huh? Try me. Come try me. Come on, try me. Come on now. I said, what do you want? Oh, okay, we need to back it off a notch. Fine, she replied, her usual tone replacing the candid one she's been using. We'll do it your way. I've got a job for you. Oh no, what is it? What do you want me to do? I've already made an Australian angry, okay? And I'm pretty sure she could whoop my ass. I might get a couple lucky shots in, but I'm not gonna fight her. I told you I have to deal with this first. I'm not leaving. It's in Australia. She cut me off. Don't you cut me off. Don't you cut me off. Oh, it doesn't matter. I need to help Chrissy first. What job? I hope you say what job as in you give her a little bit of attitude with that. What job? Dang it! Ah! oh Lord. Okay, let's just get right into it. What job? Curiosity got the better of me. Damn it! I want to know. Oh, now you're interested, Delores said, voice. Bitch, I wish you would. I wish you would. I wish you would. Tell me before I hang up. I warned. You know I'll hang up on you. You know I will. You be like, no, you hang up first. Alright. There have been some experts making noise about the stars making major changes while the sun is extinguished. So send me the data. I'll go over it. I relented, thinking of nothing else. It would get her off my back. I can't. What you mean you can't? Why not? It's being hustled up, she explained, frustration clear in her tone. Every time I get a hold of one of these leaks, they either get paid off or go missing. Then when you get a hold of the leak, you need to write it down, paste it in a Word document, save it as I don't know, something that does not draw any attention to it. Come on now. By who? I asked, despite myself. If she wanted me curious, she'd succeeded. Oh God. Someone high on the food chain, she said cryptically. I need you to find out who and why. I've heard about the stars. I laid back on the small bed, a headache throbbing in my temple. How is this relevant? Surely there are better leads to follow. You want Australia? You got it. This is the price. God! She hung up and was typical for her, not waiting for me to agree or disagree. Oh, that's what happens when you start following them. That's what happens. Will finding out what happened with the stars help us stop the sun from disappearing again, teacher? Maybe? Maybe. Anything is worth a shot. I am glad, teacher. I would like it not to happen again. It's probably gonna happen like 2 more times. Probably. Good Lord. Dropping my phone on the bedside table, I laid down without getting undressed. It was too much effort. I was here now. Okay, so okay. So I have my pants undone, and I'm just laying on this boy's bed. Sharon better not come in there busting in and be like, hey, we gotta go. And then she'd be like, why are you pants undone? I closed my eyes, welcoming the darkness. Good morning, teacher. Damn, that was quick. I hope you have packed warm clothes. The Melbourne weather is chilly today. I groaned, twisting uncomfortably on the tiny bed. It was better than sleeping on a plane, at least. Thanks, Modi. Any messages while I was out? What time is it? No messages, teacher. Damn, you lonely. It is 8:30 a.m. I grunted again, pulling myself out of bed. In the kitchen, I could hear Sharon shuffling around. I headed straight for the bathroom, towel in hand. Mornings were better faced with an empty bladder and clean clothes. Half an hour later, she was waiting for me in the tiny living room off the kitchen, a notepad in front of her. Is she gonna question me? Until you have a solid lead on Chrissy, I need to see some other work. Alright, Mom, what's the plan to find We gonna find Chrissy first. I gonna call her Mom. She took a deep breath. You were right. I have no idea where to look for the mongrel that had her, but I do know where she would have gone when she slipped him. Oh, good Lord. If, Sharon, I cautioned, worrying she was getting her hopes up. If, she waved her hands, brushing aside my concern. Look, I don't want to see you die, or Chrissy, okay? So we need to keep that if. All possibilities. She passed me the notepad she had propped on the table in front of her, and I looked it over. Some were just names and numbers, many of which were already struck through. Others were places with no address, while others had only addresses. Been up for a while, have you? I asked dryly. Her eyes darkened. Look, all I'm saying is you can't help her if you're burnt out, I said, putting up my hands in a defensive gesture. She deflated and nodded, the fight going out of her. Sliding out a chair, I sat and looked at the list again. The strikeouts I assume you've already contacted, and the ones that are just places names don't exist anymore. Oh. She confirmed, using her pencil to cross out a few more. It left us with 6 possible hideouts. Split up, cover more ground. If we split up, one of us could be in major harm. But if we do that, it gives them more chance to escape. Split up. We're gonna split up. I picked up her keys from the table. Hey, you taking my car? Modi, keys in these locations. Key in these locations, I said, leaving Sharon with a list. You stay here and see if you can get in touch with the rest of these people. They're more likely to talk to you. She looked like she wanted to argue but couldn't find a good enough rebuttal. I'll call if I find anything, I promised. On the way down to the car, I scrolled through the list on Modi's screen, figuring out which ones were closest. 2 seemed to be an equal distance away. Go to Chrissy's old university, Chrissy's favorite. Man, you know she at the bar. Is she alcoholic? I closed the door to the 4WD and studied the dinghy outside of the bar that Sharon had sent to me. I didn't know what the appeal was. If I wasn't looking for Chrissy, I wouldn't set foot in the place. That sentiment strengthened when I stepped inside, my shoes slightly sticking onto the carpet. What? A middle-aged man with scruff on his face and a round belly was washing glasses behind the counter. Taking a seat in front of him, I went for the charming tourist routine. G'day, beers please, mate. You stupid motherfucker. He looked me square in the eyes before selecting a glass and pulling a beer from one of the taps. Not yours, not your mate, he said in a gruff voice. Oh, right, I stammered. Look, I'm looking for a girl who used to come around here, Chrissy. Have you seen her? Couldn't say if I have, he said, eyes narrowing as he took me in. What do you want with her? just to say I tried another tactic that had worked in the past, pulling out a bill of Australian currency and sliding it across the bar to him. Sure you haven't seen her? He's gonna take it and be like, yes, I know I haven't seen her. Next moment, I was being thrown out of the bar by my shirt, the giant bellied man shouting unpleasant things behind me. Like being thrown out of the strip club in GTA 5 when you get handsy with the strippers. Oh, yeah. Bust, I sighed, using the bull bars at the front of the Ford WD to get my feet and pulling out Mody's list. Where to next? Okay, we went. From here, the third location was closer than the university that Chrissy had attended, but that meant doubling back later. I weighed my options. Doubling back seems better. Chrissy's old workplace. Was she hiding? Let's just go to the workplace. I'd rather double back than have to freaking back. As I climbed the escalator to the third floor where the cinemas were, I had to admit that I didn't have much hope of finding Chrissy here. Yes, it was a place that she knew well, but who would hide out at a place of ex-employment? Exactly! Why the hell did I go here? Because I wouldn't expect her to go to a place where she wasn't employed anymore. However, it was worth looking in the cinemas themselves. I had myself escaped pursuers by hiding in the darkened cinemas for a few hours. I paused outside the limits of the place, taking in the smell of buttered popcorn and salt, and watched the crowd for a moment before venturing forward. My plan was to simply line up and pretend I was actually going to see a show and then casually ask about Chrissy. So I lined up, being patient. A family with 3 young children were in front of me, arguing about what chocolate they wanted while Mom tried to tempt them with a healthier option. Have some broccoli! I was struck again by the juxtaposition between what was normal and how other people were reacting to the sun going out. Some people blew all their money away at extravagant trips, some joined a cult or two, and some turned to religion. Other people just wanted their kids to eat healthy even when they go to the movies. Before I got to the front of the line, I caught a familiar shape moving at the corner of my eye. Chrissy? It was Sharon, I told your ass to stay at the house. I told you to stay at the house. She dashed into the cinema, cut the line, and headed straight for the candy bar. Sighing, I left the line to join her. Results are my middle name, Sharon said, turning to me with that dangerous twinkle in her eyes I was starting to get used to. As predicted, there was a scuffle, and then another employee reappeared, his business shirt giving him away as the manager. Sharon looked startled. Tommy, she asked, your manager now? Tommy, roughly the same age as Chrissy, was equally startled to see Sharon. What are you doing here? You want to see a movie? He asked, eyes darting around. Sharon narrowed her eyes. You usually ask if Chrissy is with me, she said dangerously. If you aren't asking, then you know. The manager gulped, leaning forward in a calming gesture. Oh, shit. Please, keep your voice down. Do you know where my daughter is, Tommy? Sharon asked in a shrill voice. Yes, he hissed, so low that I barely heard him. Where is she? She's at my house, okay? What the fuck? He hissed, still looking around like he thought someone was going to sneak up on him. I remembered the address, Sharon said, turning to me. Let's go and get her. Wait! Sharon didn't wait to hear what Tommy had to say. I struggled to keep up with her myself. How did you get here? I asked, keeping pace. Taxi. Where did you park? I told her, nearly tripping over when she changed direction suddenly to head in that direction. Now in the Ford WD, Sharon ripped out into the street without looking back. I clung to the car door, fearing for my life. Calm down! Calm down! So, who's Tommy? I asked, looking for a distraction. Tommy Vassetti! Shit! Didn't think they ever let him out. Tommy is Chrissy's ex, but I thought that would be the last place she would go, she said, slowing down a fraction as we came up to a roundabout. Why not? They have history. It makes sense. Too much history, she said impatiently, tooting her horn. Her husband, the one still in Peru, she started sleeping with him while she was still with Tommy. She made the decision to move to be with her husband before she even broke up with it. Oh! 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 Oh no! Oh! Oh, Jesus. Oh no! Ouch. Not her finest hour. Oh, good. Miss Sharon, please slow down. Modi once again used the speaker to speak directly to Sharon, but she paid no mind. Nearly there. And that we were. We crashed straight into the front door. She pulled up outside a row of flats in an older district of Melbourne. Slamming the car door, she sprinted down the driveway and hammered onto the door of a unit part with her fist. Chrissy, she cried, "You are in big trouble, young lady." She's going to get killed. She's going to get killed. The door opened, revealing Chrissy's shocked and dismayed face. "What are you doing, you fool?" she whispered. "Just door knocking. Have you heard the word of our 100th date?" I don't care if I get hit. I don't care if they hit me. Yes. Chrissy stepped backwards in defeat, allowing her mother and I into the little apartment. Have you heard Jehovah's Witness? Oh my God. The couch was turned into a makeshift bed, and that was where Sharon and her daughter sat. I stood, looking around the tidy apartment. "Tommy, Chrissy?" Sharon started, her disapproval strong in her voice. Chrissy waved away her concern. "Who else would put me up and not ask questions, Mum? And his name's Tom. We aren't 12 anymore." "Sorry to interrupt," I interrupted, "but how exactly did you get away? We traveled halfway around the world to save you." Chrissy pulled a sketch pad from under her pillow and flipped it open, landing on a page that displayed a painted depiction of the man in the airport. "That's Jonathan. He leads the 100th date. Yeah, we know. But he's a little short on brain cells," she said. "I led him like a cattle dog and then slipped away." Ooh. "Teacher, I'm accessing data on the 100th day. They have a website that has become viral since the sun initially failed. Many news authorities attributed to riots and deaths across the globe." Modi had spoken through the speaker, allowing Sharon and Chrissy to hear as well. Chrissy snorted. "He's leading them, but badly. He's got issues controlling his people. That's why he brought me here himself. He hasn't left yet either." "How do you know? Why would he stay in Australia?" "How do you know? How?" "I have a friend in airport security." "Hogan?" Sharon asked. "Another ex-boyfriend, Chrissy?" "Damn, how many? What?" "Hey, use what you have, right?" Reluctantly, I agreed with her. Any information about this man was worth it. I picked up the sketch pad and noticed a list of physical attributes scribbled on the margin. I pointed them out to Chrissy questioningly. "I'm trying to find him," she explained, latent rage and fear behind her voice. "He kidnapped me and threatened my family, including you, Mom. It's not going to sit by and let him continue." "It's a good plan," Sharon agreed, that dangerous glint back in her eyes. "Teacher, files for Miss Montague's have just arrived. She says it's imperative that this objective be completed as soon as possible. All other things can be seen to later." I sighed, reading off Modi's watch face this time. I wondered how Modi made the choice when to be verbal and when to be quiet. It also appeared that I had a choice to make. Either stay with Sharon and Chrissy and find Jonathan of the 100th day, or do my job and follow Delores' lead investigating the missing astronomers. Oh! Oh no! Oh no! Matt fuck it, we going after Jonathan. He probably the one that killed Professor Soul. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go after Jonathan. Modi messaged Delores. I said, turning my back on Sharon and Chrissy to give myself some privacy. Tell her that I've been detained by the police and can't leave the immediate area or they'll become suspicious. Yeah, teacher, that is light. Yeah, I know it is. Sometimes we have to lie, Modi. I understand. I will send that message right away. Satisfied, I turned back to the others. What was your next move, Chrissy? She sighed, leaning back against the couch in defeat. Well, that I'm not so sure about. I'm not exactly schooled in finding people or tracking or whatever. I also don't want to involve more people than I have to. That's where we come in, right? Sharon said, looking at me. Right! Okay. This is the last choice I'm gonna make. So, nah, we already know what the 100th day all about, so we're gonna find out about Jonathan, bro. So, all right. Oh, Jesus Christ. This will be the end of this video. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one, and bye.